Coming up on Look Today, well, SUNY Adirondack is offering students a unique and educational experience on Rogers Island. I've got details. Plus, Adirondack Theatre Festival prepares for opening day of A Boy in the Bathroom. More on that coming up. And the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame in Saratoga is offering free admission on Fridays. I've got those details all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. On tonight's program, I sit down with Ben Camp. He's a site coordinator for Grant's Cottage, and we're joined by Steve Betts. He's a volunteer tour guide, and they're here to talk about the lifetimes of Ulysses S. Grant, as well as an event that's happening next weekend up at the cottage. This is part one of my interview with them. Plus, I also sit down with Ann Clothier. Now, she's from the Brookside Museum in Ballston Spa, and she's here to talk about an archaeology expedition camp that's going to expose children to this unique vocation. Plus, we've got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, we've got continuing coverage of the archaeology expedition that's underway on Rogers Island. Well, Dr. David Starbuck teaches his class of SUNY Adirondack students with hands-on field trips, like this one, Rogers Island and Fort Edward. Now, the dig will operate until August 16. Well, we spoke to Kayla Smith. She's a graduate student of history, guess what, from Arizona State University.
Short of traveling back in time, it's the best way to dive back into history for me anyway. It's like watching the show like Bones or something like forensic anthropology, or watching like a history show. It's like you find these things and then you start to imagine, what were they doing with this piece of glass? Where did this bone come from? Was it, what kind of animal? And I don't know, it's slightly investigative because you're trying to figure out who, what, and where, and when, and why, and how.
Wow, well said, Kayla. All right, in other news, well, The Boy in the Bathroom kicks off today at the Charles R. Wood Theater in Glens Falls, presented by the Adirondack Theatre Festival. It's a wonderful, heartwarming story. It revolves around a boy who locks himself in a bathroom for over a year. Well, we spoke to Chad Rabinovitz. He's producing artistic director of the festival.
It's not your song and dance type musical. It's so much more intimate and a fascinating story. We had our preview audience last night, and everyone's saying it's their favorite show of the season. It's moving, it's entertaining, and at times funny and just quirky, and it's like watching an indie flick. The really good ones that you love.
Now, we have tickets for this that we'll tell you about at the end of the program. And Chad will be on for an interview next week. All right, switching from news to weather. Today saw overcast skies. Guess what? It was raining. Let's see how the rest of the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thanks, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Sponsor. Here's your first look weather forecast. Our national map shows high pressure over the Gulf of Mexico, but here comes the cold front. That's going to make its way through the deep south. Low pressure over the Ohio Valley, and this front actually stretches all the way towards New England and impacting our area with high pressure right behind over Canada. As you look at a more detailed view, here's that cold front. It's making its way through Albany right now. It's going to reach New York and Boston for the day. Friday, low temperatures across our viewing area, mainly in the lower 60s. 60 in Fort Edward, 61 in Whitehall, a little bit towards the north into Glens Falls, 60 the expected low, and up in elevation, mid-50s for overnight lows. We could see a few isolated storms, mostly cloudy, and then on Friday we'll see patchy fog early, and the sun will come back out. 76 the expected high. The out-the-door forecast, we're looking at partly sunny and mild with mid-60s through your 8 a.m. hour. In the extended forecast, we'll see mid-70s for highs, perhaps upper 70s by Sunday, and then back in the lower 80s towards average by Monday and Tuesday. Low temperatures will be mid-50s and then warm back up to near 60 for a low Tuesday morning. Sunshine every day in the forecast. So if you have any outdoor plans, enjoy them. You have at least the next 5 days to do so. So that is the first look weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponsler. Now send it back to you, Jesse.
Thanks, Clarence. Here comes the sun. Back to the news. National Museum of Racing, Hall of Fame in Saratoga. Guess what? It's going to offer free admission on Fridays. Good idea. Tomorrow, there's Racing Trivia Night, which begins at 6:30. Now, the following Friday, which is August 4, Hall of Fame induction ceremony will take place. We spoke to Kathy Marino. She's director of the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame.
We at the museum also want to promote thoroughbred racing, certainly, and we have a quality product to present to our guests also. So it was a great collaboration. So from 2 o'clock to the end of the day, which the museum closes at 5, anybody coming in and giving us their email address gets free admission, and they get 10% off in our gift shop.
Wow, sounds like fun. Up next, I sit down with Ben Kemp. Now, he's site coordinator for Grant's Cottage in Wilton. And we're joined by Steve Betts. He's a volunteer tour guide there. And they're here to talk about the lives and times Ulysses S. Grant, as well as a very interesting event happening next weekend. This is part one of my interview with them. Plus, I also sit down with Ann Clothier. Now, she's from the Brookside Museum in Ballston Spa. She's here to talk about an archaeology expedition camp, which will expose children to this unique vocation. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. We're running tight, so I've only got a few minutes here. Reminder, Adirondack Theatre Festival is opening the play A Boy in a Bathroom tonight. It's a very heartwarming story. I really encourage you to see it. And by the way, Sherry Sawyer won a pair of tickets. So Sherry, we're going to contact you through Facebook and tell you how you can retrieve your tickets. And also a reminder that tonight on Look TV is this very unique program we do called Sold. That's a call-in auction program, great estate jewelry and coins, and it's a very popular show. You want to check it out. Okay, and tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Good night, everyone.